Yo, what's going on? What's poppin'? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So, in this video, I wanted to talk about, this is actually the story that I saw on Facebook earlier about this dude from LA who basically goes out with chicks and then he goes, I guess, to dinner or whatever with them. And he goes to the bathroom or some shit and then he bounces on them and he leaves the bill with the chicks. You feel what I'm saying? So, I saw this story on Facebook and I was like, yo, this is some corny ass sucker shit. You feel what I'm saying? And dudes was in the comments talking about, oh man, this guy's a hero and yo, that's what's up and fuck these bitches and all. And I'm like, oh my God, like what the fuck is going on nowadays? See, this is what it is, man. A lot of cats out there, right? And if you're one of these guys, you got to really listen and understand what's going on, right? One of the reasons you might be having trouble in the game, the reason why you are not getting shit popping with women, is because you have some sort of resentment there when it comes to dealing with women. So when you hear shit like this, it gets you excited. It gets you like, oh yeah, we're getting back at these bitches. Yeah, this guy's the best. And, you know, it's funny because some of the dudes in the comments, they were like, this guy's a hero. And, oh, well, you know, he's getting back at all of the chicks who would use guys for meals and all this other stuff, right? So, here's the thing. If you are the type of dude who went on a date, paid for meals and all of this shit, and you got used because of that, right? That's on you. Because you didn't realize that this chick was playing you, or you were just trying to get sex through that date, or you were specifically going on the date just to fuck. When you could have fucked without having to go on a date. I've been trying to tell motherfuckers this forever, right? And the funny thing is that dudes are trying to equate what he's doing to chicks sort of like being on a date with a nigga and not fucking him, or being on a date with a nigga and, you know, nothing really popping off or whatever after going out for a meal or whatever. See, it's not the same thing. Because in his situation, and this is how it would be the same thing. If you guys are on a date with a chick, right? And let's say y'all go out to a restaurant or some shit. And I always say don't go to no dinner on first dates. You know, but that's another story. But anyway, you go out to a restaurant, and let's say this chick is like, hey, I'll be back. I'm going to go to the bathroom. And then she goes to the bathroom, and then she sneaks out and just bounces. Now, how many of you guys have ever had that happen to you on a date? Right? I'm sure not many of you. Right? So it's not the same thing. See, the problem with this is this, right? And I said this on Facebook. I said, listen, if this guy was, you know, on top of his shit, if he was a real, you know, player, if he was a guy who really understood how to deal with women and fuck with chicks, right? He could get these chicks to pay for the fucking meal. See, a lot of these cats out there, they were like, oh, but, you know, the guy's always got to pay, and, you know, and so the guy's always paying, and these girls be playing games and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, listen, if you knew what you were doing, you wouldn't have to do this sucker shit. You sort of co-signing that, or you like being excited about that, you got to think about what that says about you, and then also recognize and realize, take a step back and look at your situation with women. See, if you're hype about that shit and you're excited about that, most likely, I'm not saying, you know, all the dudes that's like hype about that shit are co-signing it, but most likely you're not having the greatest situation with when you're dealing with women. Because if that type of shit makes you excited, then that means that there's some sort of frustration or resentment there, right? And this is why you're excited about that bullshit. See, again, if he was really on top of his shit, and let's say the issue was, well, I got to pay for all of this, I'm going to get back at them to make them pay. You don't got to get back at them to make them pay. If you want to go out and have a chick pay for this shit, she'll pay for this shit if you tell her to pay for this shit. Now, let me say this, and this is what guys don't understand. Let me go even deeper with this. If a woman really likes you, listen to this. If a woman really is really feeling you, she will pay. I'm gonna say that again. If a woman really likes you, she will pay. So either she'll pay for the whole thing or she will chip in some money and pay for like half or whatever it is. She's gonna put up some money. See, unfortunately, a lot of guys are in situations where they are with these chicks, they're paying for everything, and then they wonder why they're getting played and all this other stuff, because a lot of those chicks didn't really find you that attractive. They weren't really into you like that. So yeah, they're using you for that situation. And the thing is, I don't think that's cool either. So I'm not even giving no chicks a pass for that bullshit either. But the thing is, what I'm saying is that if a chick likes you, she will pay. I'll put it like this. I mean, so you guys can understand, because you're probably like, but what are you talking about? How's the chick gonna pay if she don't? No. Listen. Think about why most guys will pay for sex, right? Just think about it. Just think about it objectively. Like, you know, I'm sure there's all these different reasons, but mainly they're paying for sex because it's difficult for them to get it without paying, right? They're paying for sex because it's difficult for them to get it without paying, right? So let's just go along with that thought process. You're paying because you can't get what you want without doing anything extra, because paying and doing all this stuff, that's extra shit. Now let's look at a flip side with a woman. A woman goes on a whole bunch of dates, and think about this, you know, I'm just going to say this real quick before I get into that, is that you ever wonder why women say they can't find a man, or it's so hard to find a man and all this other shit, but these women have their inboxes on you know, Tinder, OkCupid, Plenty of Fish, all these websites full of dudes who's ready and willing to go out with them, or dudes on the street be hollering at them and all this other stuff, but they can't find a man. Why is that? Right? Now, one is because half the dudes that's trying to holler, they're not interested in anyway. Then, you know, they don't find them attractive in any type of way. And then the guys they do find attractive, sometimes those guys are, you know, just all over the place, so that, you know, they can't really pin them down in certain situations, right? So what happens is that these women, they're running into men who they're not really that into most of the time, and so they'll probably use those guys for whatever, to attention, to pay their bills, whatever it is. Then they actually run into a guy they really like, right? They really like this motherfucker, right? Now, remember, these chicks run into dudes they like, get with them, but either dude just like fucks her and leaves, or he just falls off or whatever, so she doesn't really get to experience him as much as she wants. So now, let's say you come along and you are the guy she really likes, right? Now remember, it's hard for her to pin down that guy because he's more rare. It's like, damn, like, you know, it's not all the time I get this type of dude, right? So it's hard for her to get that guy. So since it's hard for her to get that guy, you know, just on an average situation, let's say she's dealing with that guy, and that guy says to her, listen, you know, the bill comes and he's like, yo, you know, I'm gonna get half of this and you get the other half. Or let's say he goes even further and says, listen, you know, I want you to get this, right? Now, what do you think she's going to do? Since that woman is with this dude who she's really, really feeling, and she knows it's hard for her to get another guy who she's feeling that much, she's going to do what she feels she needs to do, which is pay. She's not going to complain. She's not going to stick her nose up. She's willing to do whatever it takes to keep that motherfucker around. You understand? See, I gotta understand how this game works, dude. I've been on dates where, you know, I go out to get drinks or whatever and shit, and the waitress or whoever brings around the bill for the joint, and chicks is ready to pull their shit out. Like I had this one girl, she's like, "Hey, do you want me to pay for this?" Right? And I was like, "Well, listen, we could split it." You understand? I usually like to split the shit. But without me even saying anything, she's willing to pay. So, look, I say that to say all of this, right? Is that the reason why, let's say this dude did this thing because he felt like, well, I'm trying to get back at all the girls who's you know, I had to pay for all these things. And I don't even know if that's even the exact reason why he did it. He could just be doing this shit out of spite, out of just being petty on some shit. But let's say if the reason why he's doing this is because he wants to get back at these chicks because he paid all this money here and there and all this other stuff. Again, that's sucker shit, because if he was that dude, he wouldn't have to do this because he would have experienced women who are willing to pay for him. See, unfortunately, a lot of guys that are in the game that's doing shit and trying to make shit happen with women, they don't experience this type of stuff because they haven't cultivated the type of personality, type of energy to be that guy who would experience some shit like that. So therefore, when a dude like this comes along and he's like, "Oh yeah, you know, I'm doing this and doing that," motherfuckers is like, "Oh my God, he's my hero. He's awesome. He's great. He's the shit." You feel what I'm saying? And I'm like, dude, that's some straight sucker shit. This motherfucker going out there, racking up the bill, and then bouncing. Like, if any man or woman would does that, that's some bullshit. If all the people are saying, well, he's getting back at all the girls that did this. So you're telling me that if some girl here or there, sort of was in a situation where he allowed himself to be used by some chick or played or whatever it was, he's going to take that out on other chicks who had nothing to do with it? So you're trying to tell me if a chick was, felt like she got her heart broken or felt like some dude played her, then it's okay for her to do that to you. Is that what you guys are saying? If a chick felt she was wronged by some dude, you're saying it's okay for her to do some bullshit to you. That's what you're saying if you're co-signing this guy doing that bullshit to other women. You understand? See, I understand that some of you guys have frustrations with women. I deal with lots of women, and there'll be times where shit will annoy me. I'll be like, oh, that's some bullshit or whatever. But you don't got to get it to the point where you're so fucking like angry about shit to where this shit puts a smile on your face. This shit is sad. You guys got to get off this sucker shit. Like I'm just seeing so much whack shit in the game now where I'm like, yo, like men are doing this. Like these are men who are acting on some bitch made shit. Men. It's fucking ridiculous, man. Like, yo, like what the fuck? Like, this is crazy. But man, seriously, like, realize what the fuck is going on. Don't be on that sucker shit. Be a man about your shit. And understand that if you was on top of your game, you would not feel the need to do any bullshit like this. You would not find any of this bullshit amusing in the sense of, you being excited about it. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, that's all I really wanted to say about that, man. I'm out of here. Listen, guys, if you have any questions, click the link below and I'll holler at you later. Remember The truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone.
Now, before you turn off this video, I want you to do 3 quick things. 1, I want you to click the link below to send me a question. If you have a question on dating and relationships, I'll make a video about it. 2, I want you to click the link under that to get my free audio program, Undeniable Game, which teaches you 7 easy to follow tips on how to really attract beautiful women. And 3, I want you to click the link under that one to go to Bad Boy Membership, where you get 45 through 90-minute audio and video dating advice tutorials every month.
What's up? It's dating and life coach Mr. Locario. Go to badboymembership.com and master the dating game by joining my Bad Boy Membership program. In this program, you'll receive 45 through 90-minute, easy to follow, step-by-step dating advice tutorials that's guaranteed to help you attract, date, and have sex with beautiful women. Join the Bad Boy Membership today by going to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com.